Yes.
Is there any difference to what you understand as saying and what say Guru Maharaj?
Who?
Guru Maharaj.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. When you talk about any guru, I don't want to go into controversies. Alright? That's first thing I'll tell you. But I will tell you to ask yourself or ask anyone, what has he done for anyone? Has he been able to give you any power or anyone the power? Alright? Now I can tell you all these who are here, who are realized souls, who are here, they are just like you to look at. Of course from face you can make out that they are very relaxed and very happy people. But they can cure people. They can give realization to people. They understand everything that is wrong with you and with themselves also. So what has he done to your awareness? Nothing. Now, his disciples, what have they achieved? You ask them, where is the kundalini of this person? What is the problem of this lady? Or what is weighing upon her mind? They won't be able to say. If you cannot even make out what's wrong with another person or with yourself, how are you going to help? All such people, what do they do? Let us see. Simple thing is that they can mesmerize you. You may feel happy for a while, just like drinking. If you drink, you feel happy. But by drinking, what have you achieved? Have you become master? All of them are like that. You see, and this gentleman is so obviously, because he asked for Rolls Royce. What is a Rolls Royce for a prophet? I mean, what does it matter? You see, my point is, this is so obvious. I mean, this is so logically obvious. First of all, anybody who takes money from you is a parasite. Simple as that. And to ask for Rolls Royce, of all the things, you see, you have got Christ. You can see from Christ's life. Will you care for your Rolls Royces? To such a person, he's a king. He doesn't bother. Whether he has a Rolls Royce or not, whether he sleeps on the ground or not, it makes no difference. Such a person doesn't care for anything. Because he is in comfort. He's got his own comfort. He is a man of self-respect. Do you think will he ask for anything whatsoever? I mean, it's so obvious. For you people, it is so obvious. But when I talk to some people of this guru, the particular one you are telling me, they said, Mother, we give him the metal and he gives us the spirit. Can there be an exchange? Can you purchase your spirit? Use your logic. Alright? God has given us brains to understand. Logically we can understand. Can you purchase the spirit? Isn't it so simple? We can't pay for it, my child. We cannot. If you want to give me a flower, alright. It's just an expression of your love, and that's all. But you can't purchase me. You can't. Your love can purchase me, alright. That's different. But you can't purchase me with metal and money. Then what is a Rolls Royce? I mean, I don't understand. What are all these crowns and things? What are they good for? They don't give you joy. Go and ask the people who wear the crowns. Yes, the other day I was with a statue, poor thing. She was so miserable. Yeah, she was. I tried to sort of put her down, her vibrations. She was very miserable. We were just across the table talking to each other. And what I was doing was to balance her poor thing. She's very upset. So you must understand, you are two simple people. You are seekers of ancient times. You are not seekers of today, you are seekers of ancient times. And this time has been promised to you before also. And now you have to fight it. Now you must keep your logic straightforward. I mean, anybody who asks for Rolls Royce, I mean, this is one of the stark examples I would say, cannot be a is a stark example. Absolutely, one of the. But there are subtler ones. It's not so subtle. You will get out of it in no time. I know all of you. But the subtler ones are even worse. Some of them may not even ask for money. May not. I don't know of any, but there may be some. Because I heard about someone who doesn't now take money in India. He has made money here and now he's gone to India and he doesn't take money from them. But the one who has really not taken money, one person whom I know, has been using women. He's not interested in money part. He's using money. Women. You see, so this is what it is. You must understand. His interest is not in your spirit, but in your person, in your women. Imagine. How can holiness be combined with these dirty habits of people? That means they themselves are under the control of their desires, which are anti-God. These are all anti-God activities. And you people being so simple-hearted, I tell you, you are so simple-hearted. If you tell an Indian that the Guru takes a Rolls Royce, he said, they immediately they'll answer. They know this guy. How can? Nobody will give to any Guru in India. Gurus have to pay people sometimes. First to entice them. Westernized Indians is different, but those who are really Indians, you see, they are people live with the mothers and they know what is what. You know, nobody can befool them. They're very practical people. Yes, my child.
Can you be healed through faith?
Huh?
Can you be healed through faith?
Oh, the faith is two types. With what we call in Sanskrit is Shraddha. It's different from what you call as faith. In English they use it as blind faith and another as faith. Alright? We can make it like that. Now, the blind faith is this, that I have got faith in God and God will heal me. This is one faith. Alright? Another is a faith which is enlightened, where I say you are the spirit when you are connected. Now, if you say that I have faith in God, you shouldn't feel hurt when I tell you the truth, alright? Because if it is a blind faith, means that you are not yet connected with the power. Not connected. See, now supposing I start saying, Christ, 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 Christ. Christ is not in my pocket. I can't even meet a prime minister or a queen without having a protocol or a connection or some sort of a position or we can say a authority, isn't it? Now when we talk of anyone like that, some people go on saying Rama, 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 Krishna, Krishna. You see, these are all incarnations, and Christ is the Son of God. He is the son of a king, and you just can't meet him. You can't just call him. He's not at your beck and call. He's not your servant. Alright? Now, to having faith like that when you are not connected, if you are healed by some other agencies, not by Christ. But if you are a realized soul and then you are healed, then it is done by Christ. I'll tell you a difference, a very clear-cut difference of healing. We have in England, I don't know now if you have that one, it's an organization called International Curative Center of late Dr. Lang. Now this Dr. Lang was dead. I mean, he was late. But he had a curative center. You see, and this gentleman died. And he possessed a man in Vietnam, a soldier, not his own son, but a soldier. Now this soldier was told by this fellow, I mean they are very honest people, being English they are honest and they tell the truth. You see, they don't say that we do it through God or anything. So he told that there are many doctors, I hope the doctors won't mind, who have died and who were very ambitious, are still wanting to cure people. And he should go back to my son and tell him all the story that I have come in you, and my son will believe. So he said, how will he believe me? He said, no, I will tell you some secrets which only he and me, both of us, share. So he'll definitely believe. So this fellow agreed. He was a very healthy fellow. Actually, this spirit entered into him when he got into a certain shock. Something he saw shocked him in the war, and this spirit entered. And he was carried by that spirit somehow or other to England, where he met his son, and he told the whole story. And the son had to believe because he knew so many secrets. And they started this curative set. Now, how do I come to know of late Mr. Lang? Is the thing. They cured a lady who was in India. Long time back, it was 1970, I'm telling you. And she came to see me, and she was all shaking, she's like this. I said, what's this? She said, I was sick with a certain disease, and I was afraid of an operation. And I came to know about this organization. I wrote to them, and they wrote to me saying that at this time, on this date, we'll enter into your body. Openly, I mean, they don't say that we are God or anything. We'll enter into your body, and you'll feel a little shaking, doesn't matter, and you sleep off, and we'll work it out. And she said, I got cured of that disease. But after 3 years or so, the whole body started shaking. And she couldn't bear it anymore, and she came to see me. That's how I came to know about Dr. Lang. See, that he has, this poor lady was tortured for 3 years. She suffered so much. And then she came to see me. So after Mr. Lang entered into her body, Dr. Lang, it was after 6 years that she came to see me, because 3 years she was alright. After 3 years it started. And that's how I came to know all the spirits that had entered into her, the doctors and all that. It was a horrible case. Of course, she got cured later on, no doubt. Because when you become the spirit, you are in your fort. Nobody can enter into your body. You become something which doesn't get contaminated, doesn't get overpowered. Nobody can dominate. And that's how she got cured. So with faith, if somebody says, oh, you will be healed, you see, and they start shouting and screaming and this and that, and suddenly you might feel, maybe there's a spirit. They replace also sometimes these spirits. It's very surprising. They can replace a spirit from one to another. I've seen such cases also. All kinds of things I've seen in spirit. The other day, only about 8 days back, wasn't that, Marie? When this charismatic fellow came in?
Something like that.
8 days back, in France, a gentleman came in. Young fellow, must be about 24 or so. He got into such a big agitation, he started crying, and a funny type of a thing that I've never seen a spirit enter into it. Whole body was shaking, and I mean, he fell down, he started crying, weeping, all sorts of things happened. And he said that I went to charismatic movement where I got it, and many get it. And they think Holy Ghost has entered into them. Now just imagine, how can the Holy Ghost make you visible? I don't know from where these ideas come in. And poor child, he suffered so much. Now he's alright. But he couldn't believe it, that he could be alright, because he thought, and then they say these are your sins and you have to get over your sins, and this is why it's happening to you. You still have done bad karmas and this and that. But your bad karmas and all those things can be solved when the Kundalini rises. There is a center for this specially, which is really being adored by Jesus Christ here. Did you tell them about this center?
Didn't quite get that far.
Alright. So this is the center, and when the Kundalini passes through that's why they say that you have to pass through it. He gets awakened, and when he gets awakened, all these two pouches you see there of ego and superego, your conditioning and all your left-sided problems and right-sided problems are sucked. That's why they said that he died for our sins. He's described in the ancient Indian scriptures as Mahavishnu, but you see, the missionaries went to India, they gave a very wrong picture of Christ, absolutely a wrong picture, so they were still expecting Mahavishnu to come in. And this is what it is. He's supposed to be, according to missionaries, somebody who sort of converts people and all that nonsense. It's not the real thing that he is to be awakened within us. He said that. He said, I have to be born within you. And that is what it is. When Kundalini rises, she awakens that center within us, and all our conditionings and egos are sucked in. A space is created here in the fontanelle bone area through which the Kundalini comes in, and you can feel the cool breeze from your head coming out. That's what it is. And you feel it in your hand. It's not just that you are mad after someone. It's not like that. It's not that way, you see. Nothing of that kind. You become a self-respecting, normal, dignified personality of great spiritual value, which you are. Alright? So this is what faith is and what is blind faith is. Yes, my child.
It seems very difficult, the concept that self-realization doesn't involve some personal effort. Can it really come to anybody irrespective of how materialistic they are?
Yeah.
Am I understanding you?
Yes, it appears on the face of it very difficult, and how people are materialistic is also true, no doubt. But spirit is much stronger than the matter, and when it has to express, it completely crashes all that, and it comes. Now we have here, most of you are English people, I should say, westernized, very materialistic people they were. I should say, I mean, living in that world. They may not have been that materialistic, because if they are not seekers, they would not come to me. But a new being has been born. If you look at an egg, you feel that what a hard stuff is this. But if it is broken at the right moment, with the right understanding, it becomes a bird. Because the living process is on, only the last breakthrough has to take place. Apparently it looks difficult, but to me it is not. Perhaps I know the job. Alright? Yes, it looks, people have said all kinds of things about Kundalini also. I must say, some books I have seen have all. You see, if you don't know the job, everything, supposing somebody doesn't know how to drive a car, you see, and he gets into the car, the way he described it would be horrifying. You'd never get near a car, isn't it? It's like that. The one who is not authorized and who does not know the job should not do it. But that's what happens to you, that you become the spirit, you become your own master, and you become the master of this art. The master of this art. Yes, my child?
You made reference to hypnosis earlier, and you also said of yourself that you regarded yourself to be a catalyst in.
I couldn't hear you. Can't you? What did you say?
You mentioned hypnosis earlier, Mother. And
What?
You mentioned hypnosis earlier, and you also said that you regarded yourself as a catalyst.
Don't you think that the hypnotist also regards themselves
Yes, very
as a
true.
catalyst?
Yes, no doubt.
As the person themselves.
Yes, that's true. But the difference is this, that a hypnotist brings you under his power. He doesn't give you any power or no new dimension to your awareness. You see, there's a tremendous difference between the two. You see, you have got your own power within you. Say, for example, alright, your spirit there. Now, I am a catalyst. You see, you can use a spoon for giving a poison, or could use it for giving a nectar. Alright? So, if you give the nectar, then it's a great thing, and if you give the poison, it's horrible. It's like that. Now, the hypnotist uses hypnosis. How does he hypnotize? Is the point. What he does is to push you into your subconscious, into your collective subconscious, where he overpowers you. You are under his power. He says, you become like a child, you become like a child. You suck a little bottle, you do it. What's all this? But here you become a spirit in the sense that you become collectively conscious. It's no hypnosis, because you yourself can feel it. Now, say example, you take 10 children who are realized souls. There are some children who are realized souls, even little children. and you take them near a person who is suffering from some trouble, alright? Now you tie up their eyes and ask them, what's the problem of this problem, gentleman? They will raise the same fingers, all of them will raise the same finger saying, this is burning. You see, because the sensation you feel, of burning, of numbness, or of cool breeze. A new awareness of a vibratory nature is born within you, not with hypnosis. On the contrary, after hypnosis, you feel so dead and finished, as if somebody has been riding your horse. It's just the other way now. And you start growing into you and understanding. You can cure people. You understand what are the centers that are catching. You understand what are the centers of another person that are catching. In the beginning, sometimes people have confusion, I've seen, that they don't know whether these are my centers or your centers. But we have ways and methods by which you can discriminate. You can see which are your centers catching and which are the centers of the another person catching. You also know how to get them all right. You also know how to give realization to others and to empower them with their own powers. It's just the opposite. But catalyst could be horrifying and catalyst could be just heavenly.
Is it something that the person can self-realise themselves through their own efforts entirely?
With their own effort?
Yeah, or is it necessary?
Oh, I don't think it's possible. You see, because like a light which is enlightened can only enlighten another light. But what I'm saying, that even supposing, like Buddha, you see, he got his realization when he was absolutely tired and he had to have it. Of course, the Holy Ghost did that. He could not have done it on him. But he got the realization there because it was a different circumstance which he had to live. He didn't have to talk about God. He didn't have to talk about the whole thing. Because people were so much engaged in talking of big things like God and about all kind of deities, this, that. There was a big confusion. And somebody was to be realized at that time who would just localize it and say only self-realization. Don't talk of God or anything, forget it. That's why he got a realization like that. But you cannot get a realization just like that. Only possession you can get. You cannot. Somebody who is an enlightened soul, such an enlightened soul doesn't take money from you. Normally, you see, people don't want to give a realization. 99% those who are really realized, they'll throw stones at you, they won't have anything to do because their experiences of human beings are horrifying. If you go and talk to them, they'll tell me, they have told me that wait for 12 years. See, mother, they will all finish you off, they'll kill you, they'll do this. It's very venturesome to deal with human beings because they'll be very egoistical and they will never accept. But if you take like this, like somebody who knows is a head, isn't it? And realization is not possible. It's not possible to be done by yourself. It's not possible. Because if say a candle which is not enlightened wants to get itself enlightened, the light has to be brought. It's so simple as that. But one should not feel bad about it actually. Say I don't know how to drive, somebody drove me down here, I didn't feel bad that he had to drive me down. Did I? And I only know one job. I don't know many jobs I don't know. I don't know how to operate bank, I don't know how to write a check. I'm hopeless in many things. I don't know how to open a can maybe, but I know how to open a kundalini. Alright, so if I know one job, why should you mind? After all, we depend on each other for everything, isn't it? So why not? If I know the job, what's the harm? And you will know too. You will know too. But it cannot be done by yourself. But actually in this, you are not obliged for anything. I just do it because I love it. It just happens. I don't do anyway. I'm just flowing. I don't know how it happens. Just it's flowing. I just love for love's sake. just, we can't believe such a person can exist. But I do really, I am like that. Sometimes you might even, some of the surgeons do feel that I'm too compassionate and that I should be rather strict with people and things like that. So they come and tell me some wisdom about it. You see, they think I'm not so practical. But this is the most practical thing. Because I know they make mistakes because they don't know they are walking in darkness. If you're walking in darkness, if you bang at something, then the only thing that you can do is to have compassion for them because they can't see, they are blind. Isn't it? How can you have any anger or temper? And moreover, I would request you not to have any misidentifications with anyone also. You have to get to your spirit. That's the main thing. If you still think of somebody, see, like the lady, I don't know, somebody might have sent her here. Maybe, I don't know why she got angry. I didn't say anything to hurt her. Maybe she's possessed. I don't know why she got angry. And she just got up and just walked off saying that you are telling everything lies. Why should I tell you lies? I don't have to get anything out of it. But why it happens? Because she's not sensitive. She's not sensitive to divinity. She doesn't understand who's divine, who's... I don't blame her. She hasn't got the sensitivity. It's a caliber. I've seen surgeries now of different varieties have come to me. Some of them are of such a caliber in continuity. They get into realization, they know what it is, they have the pattern just like a diamond, they get it and they get it. That's tremendous. There are some who's locked behind. Some of them who get realization, but still they've gone down to all kinds. Doesn't matter. I love all of them. Yes, my child. What's it?
Supposing before realization that we got really bad things, so it was like supposed we were just really nasty and we gave everybody cancer events. With after realization,
He's a surgeon?
In the process.
Huh? So what is he talking about?
well, I'm just saying, with the effects of our karma, would it go away, or would we still get it and also our realization?
What did he say there?
He's saying, Mother, if before realisation we were such a horrible person that we gave cancer to everybody we met or something like this, after realisation, does the effects of that get taken away, or what happens?
Yeah. I know so many things have happened. We had somebody in Brighton, you remember, he's here now, I think, who was drunk when he came in. He was very angry with me, to begin with. He said, how can I get rid of this trouble? I can't believe you and all that. He's alright, perfectly alright. His change is so beautiful, you can't. Is he there?
Yes, ma'am.
And we got this. He's so sweet now. The other day he came to see me. I said, look at that. He's so sweet. He was a very sweet man. But something had put him up, made him upset, you see, that he'd become alcoholic. It's alright. And the compassion can only make you understand this. That there's a reason for this. He is a very sweet person. Very sweet person, no doubt. But something had gone wrong with him. It's alright. So this happens. It's true. Surgeries realize this. Some, of course, I must say, go a little bit. Doesn't matter. They'll come. All of them will come. I'm sure. Everyone is made for it. Actually, the divine is anxious to give you realization. Much more anxious than you are. If there were 1,000 people today, I would have given them realization better. But very few people take to reality. You see now, that Guru Maharaj Ji, thousands are like mad after him, isn't it? But he's given nothing to them, poor things. But for reality, they are very few. Like the other day, somebody asked me a question, Mother, why don't you do it to everyone? I said, where are they everyone? They are busy. Where are they? In this Brighton, how many there are? How many are here? Alright? That's the problem. It takes time for people to love reality. It takes time. It's such a beautiful thing. And even they get realized, then they drop out. See? Oh, I'm alright now, I'm alright. After 1 year they'll appear. That's not the way. You have to master this art. Absolutely master it. It is all free. Absolutely free. Now, they are all sitting down here, they can say that.
Will you talk a bit more about self-realization and what's necessary to enhance that?
Yes, yes. I will be in my next lecture, one by one. Now I'm talking the left side, the right side, and then the center, and then also, of course, about the spirit. Definitely, 100 times. That's what I have to do. But gradually I have to build you up. Alright? I will, definitely. You won't believe. I think I've given 500 lectures already in London, at least. And it doesn't end. Every time they say, last time I spoke, they said, Mother, it was absolutely a new dimension you talked about. I don't know. Kerry told me first time he touched his vibration so much with my lecture, I don't know what I touched it. So, yes, it's surprising. He's from Australia. Australians, doing well. Very fast work. So, all the questions are over now. Should we have it?
What of karma?
Huh?
What they call karma?
Karmas.
Yeah.
Karmas are when you do any work or anything with your right side action, then the effects of that accumulate within you as an ego, because you think you are doing it. Actually, we don't do anything substantial. What we do is a dead work. Like as I said, we make a chair out of a dead tree. That's all we do. What work we do is an idea we have. We are doing work. What work are we doing? Can you convert this into a fruit? We can't even put fragrance into it. So this myth, you see, works as ego within us, as shown here, which I will be speaking tomorrow about, alright? And this is what is that we think we are doing this work, that work, and this ego thinks that if you have done bad work or good work, we have to suffer. You see, a tiger doesn't feel that way. If tiger has to eat, it must kill. It kills the animal, eats it, finished. It doesn't sit down and start, oh God, I should not have done it. I should become vegetarian. It doesn't accumulate any karmas in it, alright? But we human beings do. Why? Because we are closed. We are closed. See here, we are closed. They are open. Whatever they do, they are not bothered. But we are bothered about what we do because we think we do. And when, as I said, the center is opened out, he sucks our karmas. And the so-called karmas are nothing but sins, you see. In a biblical language, we can call it a sin, you see. And they are all sucked by this powerful deity of Christ awakened within us. And you get beyond it because it is the ego that does the karma. Your ego is finished. What are the karmas? They are finished too. Then you don't say, I did it. What you will say, Mother, it's not working out. It's not going up. Now what is this it? It becomes a third person. It's flowing. The vibration is not coming. You see, you don't say, I am doing this realization. I am raising the full. They don't say so. They say, it's not rising. You become a third person. That third person is the spirit. Where you do not say that I should do it. Even if it's your son, you'll say, Mother, it's better that he gets realization. Alright, you see, try. No, it doesn't work out. Right. Then should I give a certificate? He said, how can you give certificate, mother? How can you, the Kundalini have got reason? Everyone knows. See, it's whether it's your father, mother, sister, anyone. If they are not realized, they know they are not realized, so what? They just know. And this granddaughter of mine, who's here now, she's born realized, and she was hardly about 5 years of age, I think, when they went to Ladakh. And there was one Lama sitting with his shaved head and all that way. Everybody was touching his feet. And the parents also not realized, my daughter has not realized, so she also touched his feet. She couldn't bear it anymore now. It was too much for her. So he was sitting in a higher hillock. She went, put her hands back and looked at him. She turned him. He said, what do you mean by asking everybody to touch your feet? You're not even a realized soul. By wearing this dress of yours and shaving your head, you think you can ask people to touch your feet? Little child of 5 years. Yes, they understand. We had once a program in India when they invited me as a chief guest, and this Raman Maharshi was a realized soul. And one gentleman from Ramakrishna Ashram, the head of that, was sitting with his big orange robe, see, sitting there. And my another granddaughter, she was sitting in the front row. She couldn't bear him anymore, so she shouted from there, Mother, the one who is wearing a maxi, their grandmother, please ask him to get out, he's giving heat to all of us. There were many Sahajas who were feeling the heat for the fellow, and he thinks he's a very spiritual man. So she just stood up, she said, ask him to go, he's wearing a maxi. She didn't understand it was a robe or thing. Even children know who are realized souls and who are not, if they are born to realize. There are many children who are born to realize these things. The time of judgment, this is the time of judgment. Of course, about this I'll tell you later.
You mind if I persist the questions?
It's all right, I don't mind. But what happens if you ask too many questions, sometimes it becomes mental activity and may delay the realization sometimes. So I would advise you, if it is not so important, better keep it out. Because you see, answering the question is only on mental level. I'm talking something much beyond, you see. So it is something logically, if you have understood me, alright, let's have it. If it will work out, work out. If it will not work out, doesn't matter. I'm here for 3-4 days and we are going to work it out. Alright? So it's better to keep your mind at rest. Tell the mind, you have asked many questions before, you have thought of many things. Now the time for you to see the blessings of your own. Alright? If you tell your mind, it will rest. It's a wonderful thing, mind is. If the mind knows what you want, and if it is the reality, it supports you and helps you very much. The same mind which can go astray. See, it's like sometimes I like a donkey. Like Christ used donkey just to suggest the mind that if you allow it to go astray, it will take you to all kinds of things. But if you control it, it takes you there where you are. So just make him keep quiet. It's better to keep quiet at mind level. And that's why I answered your questions, because later on when the Kundalini is rising, at that time the mind should not stand up, isn't it, to say that I haven't asked this question. That's why, just to soothe it. There's no need, but just to soothe it down, I guess. Alright? So best thing is to get your realization is the best thing. Otherwise this mind is quite a disturbing stuff. It can come at the right time when you are going to achieve your last breakthrough. It may stop. Alright? So if you have any immediate question or by which you are really oppressed, then you must ask. But if it is not so important, just give up. Is it very important? So then it's all right. You can realize this. Now, I have to just request you for one thing, if you don't mind. We have to take out our shoes, because the Mother Earth helps us a lot, see. So we have to take her help in every way possible. Just to keep your feet on the ground, it helps a lot. You need not take out your socks, but it helps a lot to put your feet on the ground as they are. And just to put your hands like this, because as I told you that this is all sympathetic centers, as he must have told you also. You feel the flow in here moving without, it moves but you don't feel it so much till you get your realization. Just put your hands